Ready for this weekend. Jam-packed weekend full of games, so I'm ready for it.
Miles is nervous about the Knicks.
I'm not nervous.
I would be nervous.
It's showtime. It's showtime in the land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Bench Mob, they're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. They rep a jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. Taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's on the grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen from now. Miles, he was really. I was trying to tell you. Bench Mob Podcast. What's up, bro?
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob Ent podcast. We're going to set the ground rules. Follow, like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, share with any and everybody. We thank y'all and appreciate y'all for those that's been supporting thus far. Fellas, how y'all doing tonight? NBA playoffs is here.
Doing good. Ready for this weekend. Jam-packed weekend full of games, so I'm ready for it.
Miles is nervous about the Knicks.
I'm not nervous.
I would be nervous.
It's showtime. It's showtime in the land.
All right, for our listeners and our viewers, this is what y'all can expect from this episode. We, of course, going to talk about the last couple play-ins. We're going to talk about what happened in the other play-in games. We, of course, is talking about every single matchup. We're going to talk about NBA awards, our predictions, who we have on our first team, second teams, OBJ to the Ravens. What does that mean? And Tampa Bay off to a 13-0 start in the MLB. But we're going to start off with Chicago at Miami. Chicago, Miami. Winner goes on to play Milwaukee. How y'all see this one panning out?
I feel
And
like
shout out to the Hawks for getting that win. Oh.
I feel like if Zach LaVine comes out killing like that, then they'll be tough to beat. Like, you got him. You know DeMar's going to be solid. DeMar's usually always solid. And then, who is it? Caruso on defense. I'm wondering if they put him on Jimmy just because he's their best defender. He's probably going to be first team all defense. So, I mean, Jimmy had a bad game on Tuesday. And all that talk about guaranteeing a win, it better not come back to bite you and you don't even make the playoffs with all that talk. So I'm expecting him to play better, but the way LaVine was playing the other night, I'm like, this is what I like to see. He's ready for the playoffs. Some people, like Ant Edwards, you know, they come in here. No, let me stop. He was probably banged up, but some people are not ready for the playoffs. You got Zion sitting on the sideline, hungry. I wish he was hungry to get in. You know, he's not ready to eat, but eat outside the court. I mean, let me stop.
Hey, quick question though. How do y'all feel about Zion not playing? Which he basically said, I'm not playing because I don't feel like Zion.
He looked heavy.
Yeah, bro. He looked really, really heavy. In those workout videos you saw about the NBA posted, it didn't look fluid at all. He looked really heavy. He looked bigger than before. He looked way bigger than before. He just looked, bro. You know, there's two parts of me. There's one part of me was like, all right, as an athlete, as a professional athlete, take care of your body, do what you need to do, right? Obviously, like you got guys playing with torn labrums on your team, CJ McCollum. You got guys playing with messed up hands, right? And all that stuff. And they out there putting it on the line to make a push. So that's the responsible answer. On the other side of it, yo, I'm making, what do you get? What do you get? Like 180? You got 180 guaranteed or something like that? Bruh. Imagine making 180 Canes whenever you want, bruh. And it's guaranteed. You know it's Canes, bruh. That's the worst part. Yeah, I don't even blame him, bro. I don't think I'll lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. There's that part of it too. But in all seriousness, I mean, we're at a point where it's just irresponsible, bro, with him. Like, it's scary where we're at with this guy. It really is.
He's out of shape, bro. He's out of shape. That's the crazy thing. Is like
And he's always out of shape. That's the problem.
always out of shape. But like he looked good to start the season. Then like the injuries caught up to him, and then he's been out for 3 months now.
Yeah.
And clearly he hasn't been working out. Because I mean, those outfits are getting tighter on the sideline. Sad to say, but like one, he needs a stylist. Some of these outfits, I'm just like, these are some boys in the hood.
You dressing like Kanan.
Yeah, you dressing like
You dress like
bad
Kanan.
news. It's bad news for your outfits. But like for you to be out of shape, that's the real reason he didn't play. Like he's healthy. Like the hamstring is fine. I believe the hamstring is fine. I think his wind, though, getting up and down the court, he wouldn't be able to really help this team. Because one, he's not really known for being a defender anyway. So you get him out there, you're gonna put him in the pick and roll and get him active. He can only play in like 3 or 4 minute spurts right now, which is not good for a guy you're paying like $35 million to be ready at all times. And that's why you got CJ throwing, I don't even know if they're subliminals, because it feels like those are really
straight shots,
really targeted shots that
straight shots.
Yeah. And even BI, they were asking him like, what was the best part of the season for you? And it was coming back after 2 months of missing the season because he just wanted the ball. And like Zion, I feel like he's just insecure because he sees what people say online about him being heavy and all that stuff. And I get it. It probably gets to him a little bit, but you bring it on yourself when you're not playing. Like people weren't saying that at the beginning of the year. They're talking about you for MVP. But now that you're missing more games, now it's back to the heavyweight talk. So
yeah, he needs to cut down. He needs to cut down weight. He needs to change it. I mean, the diet thing, we've been talking about it forever. If you're not doing it now, I don't know what's going to change your mind or make you suddenly change your habits, right? I don't know. Maybe it's nulling the contract in some way because I'm sure there's protections against him being overweight. There has to be. They had to see this coming. But the other flip side of this is that you can easily say that the Lakers won that trade. The Lakers won that trade, right? I mean, hands down, you get a championship out of it, and then the number one overall pick, I think they got because of the deal, or was Zion even a part of that deal any kind of way? I'm not sure. I know they got BI and everything, but they haven't.
I don't think so. I think
they were just bad,
that was
right?
The first year that weird lottery, of course, they screwed the Knicks over, but
they were just bad. They were just bad. So but still, you get BI and all them pieces and all that stuff, and you got what, like one playoff run to show for it? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're young. They have a chance to still be good at the end of the day, right? And they're still got a window there, but the Lakers won that deal, man. They just look way better now, even with the dysfunction that there was earlier in the season. But that's a whole different conversation.
Chicago, Miami, who you got winning? I'm going with Chicago.
Oh, Chicago for me too. No question.
I don't like what I saw from Miami. Their offense looks super stagnant. Bam Adebayo, again, once playoff time come, it seemed like we see a different Bam. He wasn't aggressive. It was up to the third quarter. He had 2 shot attempts. It can't just fall on Jimmy Butler's shoulders. Like y'all had to have Kyle Lowry go for 33. You don't get that from Kyle. You can't get 33 from Kyle Lowry and don't win the game.
Yeah.
You don't know what you get from Kyle this next game. You got 33 from Kyle. Like, come on. OKC at Minnesota. Shai looking. I like OKC.
Yeah, I like OKC too. It's the same thing with both conversations. Shai is cold, so it's like MVP level type good. And on the other side with Chicago, Zach is cold, and I've been saying Zach is cold for the longest time. He that's what he's capable of. Like that's the guy I know he can be more often than not if he's healthy and things are right. So both those guys, they have alpha guys. I think I like their alpha guys more than like the other team's alpha guy. I'm gonna trust Shai over Cat after what I saw Cat was on recently. Okay, any guy who changes his voice as much as he does shouldn't be someone we can trust anyways. So I'm gonna go with Shai in this game as the guy who I think can lead his team. And Josh Giddey was incredible in that game too, without even really shooting the ball. He was incredible. The Jalen Williams, they got two of them. Both Jalen Williams, both productive, both really good. That team has a real young, bright future, but they're gonna make the AC. They're gonna pull this off. I like Mike Conley on the Timberwolves as a stabilizing force for that team. You saw how he almost got the Lakers out of there.
He was the best player. He was the best player for Minnesota.
He was the best player on the floor. I love that guy. And he's been like that for so long, just so steady. But I don't think it's enough, right? Especially with Ant being injured. He's clearly not right, like Miles was saying.
I think for Ant, too, I think this is good. I think this is reminiscent of Kobe's early years in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He didn't have success. Even last season, Ant didn't play bad, but he didn't play up to Anthony Edwards that we know in the playoffs last year too, which if he did, they get out that first round. They don't end up losing to the Grizzlies. I think also the bigger conversation with this game, even if Minnesota somehow wins this game, what do they do going forward? Because obviously this is the worst trade probably. I don't know. My OGs, let me know if I'm off on this because I don't know basketball back in 1945 and whatnot. This probably has to be the worst trade in NBA history for that haul. You trade 4 first-round picks just for a defensive specialist. You make that haul for a generational overall player, not just somebody that plays one side.
Yeah.
So what do they do going forward? It's hard to trade Gobert now, and I think the best option is to trade Cat, but
they're not going to do that.
They can't trade Cat. He's the better of the two. And, like, clearly some of those guys on the team don't get along, especially with Gobert. I mean, at this point, definitely with Gobert when you got him punching guys in the chest. So, but Cat is the more talented player. I mean, the game is kind of moving towards his specialty. Like, he can shoot, he can post you up. Gobert is the one who, that's why the trade was so weird, is he's more of a somebody else do something for me to create offense. I can't create offense for myself. He doesn't have a post-up game. He can't shoot, but he plays defense. That was his calling card.
I think they trade for Gobert because they don't have a center. Even with Cat there, they don't have a center. If you watch the game, I'm watching the game, right? I'm watching the game as a Lakers fan. There's multiple possessions. You got Reeves on you. You got Schroeder on you. This man is taking step back threes, fadeaways. He's not demanding the ball. He's not posting up.
Yo,
I don't like Cat's game, man.
For the final 8 minutes of regulation, they hadn't taken a shot within 22 feet of the basket. For the final 8 minutes of that game, not one shot within 22 feet. So to your point, there was a lot of that fadeaway stuff, but that's who he is, right? That's who he is. He's never been overly physical. Remember, did you ever see the meme of him struggling as the DeMarcus Cousins just looking at him? That's like the perfect way to capture Cat's career. That's exactly what he is. But small market teams got to operate differently too. Like if I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm considering trading Cat. He's your best asset. It's the same conversation as the Blazers, and I know I'm sure you would have brought that up at some point. But it's the same situation as the Blazers. Like there is no getting a second star to come to Portland. No one wants to go live in Portland. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing.
What's up with Dame, bro? Like, what is he talking about?
He knows. No. You know that. Look, he's being disingenuous. He knows for a fact that he's not. That they're not going to be able to get him a second star. They know that. So all he's doing is he's just saying without saying that he actually wants to be traded. Like, he knows he wants to be traded, but he's not going to come out and say it. You know what I mean? You know you're not, but how are they going to get another star? How? Like, it's not going to happen. No team wants to help you keep Dame. They want him out of there. Like, it's not going to work. The Blazers have to realize they're in the same situation that the Nets were in with Kevin Durant. It's no different. It's the same thing. Like, you have to get rid of this guy, whether you realize it or not. It's over. Like, it's done. And it's good riddance. It should be done. You have a young, talented guard in Anthony Simons, and you have Shaedon Sharpe. Build around them. For some reason, Anthony Simons doesn't seem to play well at the same time as Dame anyways. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. They never seem to play well on the same day. It's very weird. So, it doesn't work.
First playoff game, Saturday, 1:00. The Brooklyn Nets at the Philadelphia 76ers. Two things I want to look at. Who's the best player in this series?
Oh,
It's KD for sure.
Shut up.
What,
Yo,
who's the X factor and the matchup that we're looking to watch in this series?
the first thing I'm glad you brought up the Nets because this is going to be on brand. I think Dame to the Nets is not a crazy thought. I'm just saying it. He loves Mikal Bridges. I'm just saying it. Don't be surprised if Dame ends up being a net by the end of the summer. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a real chance that happens. Send out Cam Thomas and some other guys, and we can make this thing happen with a bunch of first-round picks, make it happen. But that's a whole different conversation. Okay, there's that. To your point, talking about the series. Best player in the series is obviously Joel Embiid, no doubt about it. Stopping him is going to be almost impossible, but they have a really good. This team is long and athletic defensively, and they can get out and run. And the Sixers are slow. They don't run. They haven't been able to do it since Doc has gotten there. They've been terrible in transition. They're a terrible transition team. Joel Embiid is slow, right? James Harden, we know he's slow. All that Texas Roadhouse is weighing him down. He can barely get up and down the floor. So they don't do a good job out in transition. The Nets can get out and make plays in transition. But as far as the matchup I'm looking at, I could say Embiid versus Claxton. That's disingenuous. Claxton's not going to be guarding him one-on-one. There's going to be a lot of double teams. I think what I have to look at here is Mikal versus James Harden, or DFS versus Dorian Finney-Smith versus James Harden. I think if you can eliminate James Harden, which isn't hard because James Harden eliminates himself. That's what he does in the playoffs. He eliminates himself. He don't come to play. So if we can get him to just have bad days consistently in this playoff series, we have a chance to win the series. I feel like they don't scare me as a fan. The goal as a Nets fan for me is a 6-game series. If we lose in 6, I feel okay. We competed. But I think they can go 7 and potentially steal one. I think they can steal this thing. I don't think the Sixers are as good as people are making them out to be. Don't scare me. Joel's scary though. I'll give Joel that. He's a problem. But no one else is. Not the fat man.
So you got Nets 4-3?
I picked the Nets and said they're going to lose. You know how I am about that. But for the sake of the podcast, I do think the Nets could win it. This is one of those series where in the first round, like you can get an upset. There's not going to be a lot of upsets. In the Lakers series, it's not an upset. We'll talk about it. That won't be an upset. All right. But even if the Lakers win, but this series can be a genuine upset. And I think this has the real potential for that. So yeah, if the Nets win this series, it'll be in 7. I think it'll be in 7.
Miles, what's your prediction on this series?
I think it's Philly in 6. I mean, I think, the Nets are going to compete, but when it comes down to it, I think Embiid's just going to do his thing. Probably 35, 15, 6 every game, which is, I mean, it's not out of the ordinary. That's what he's been doing all year. That's pretty much his averages. So I think he's going to do his thing, and it all depends on how Harden plays. Because if we look at it, the last month of the season, he's been really not Harden-like. Like it's weird. But let's see if he turns it on for the Nets. A little revenge.
Revenge for what? The Nets owe him. And I hope Nets fans boo the hell out of him. Please boo James Harden. Please boo him. And also, while we're talking about the Nets, before we move on, a lot of stuff flying around on Twitter. A lot of Blazers fans who are delusional. And I don't know what the hell's going on in Portland. And they think that they can get Mikal Bridges from the Nets. They smoking that strong shit. Yeah. Yo, under no circumstances can the Nets afford to trade Mikal Bridges at all. Or Claxton. Those two people are untouchable. And it won't happen. But I just think any people don't understand where the Nets are. Like they're in a it's not rebuild, it's a retool. So they're going to be looking to try to win. Just a PSA for people out there that are
getting shitty.
he can be traded, but I don't understand that whole beef, bro. What Dinwiddie said wasn't even wrong. Like it wasn't. Kuzma's days as a Laker weren't the best. He was better before Bron got there, right? He had a good year. He looked promising, and then in that role where he had to catch and shoot and play off the catch, he wasn't very good. So I look, it's easy to throw some shit like didn't shitty out there. It's easy to throw that out there, but I think he said that because he's a little insecure. I think Kuzma's the one who's insecure.
I mean, he said he could be a number 2, like Drew Holiday on a contender.
That's where I think Spencer was off on that one.
But Spencer's wilding. Yeah, Spencer's wilding. No. So I do think Spencer's good. He's a good NBA player. But are you Drew Holiday? No. Are you gonna give me 50 in a night? I've seen him have some good nights now, but 50?
He'd be a
That's why it's
6 man.
funny. Like, it's gonna say, yeah, we got Mikal, then it's me.
No, it's Mikal and Clax.
Hey, bro, Spence, by the way,
That's tough.
I know in the offseason, they get somebody to be the number 2 or the number 1 because you aren't the number 2.
Dead ass. I don't think he should.
Like, bro, y'all both, him and Kuz, they're a little off in how they view themselves.
I think the Nets view Cam Johnson as a number 2 before they view him as a number 2. Seriously.
They don't even play him. They barely play him when, it's not a meaningless game.
Who?
Cam Thomas. Oh,
Cam Johnson.
Cam
Thompson on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Cam Johnson, he'd probably be the number 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're gonna pack dude's bags because he's about to be out of there. But whole different conversation. Not a Nets podcast. Go ahead.
Atlanta, Boston. What's the prediction on this series? I got it 4-1. Trey and DeJounte, they get 1.
They can get 1. I don't mind that. I think that's fair. They can get 1. The Trey can go off any given night. DeJounte can too, but it's just gonna be 1. That's it. This series has no intrigue, no sex appeal to it at all. I'm not locked in for those. I can miss those games. I'll be all right.
Gentlemen sweep 2 miles, or you think it's 4-0?
I think they could get 2. I feel like Trey is one of those guys that he might be on his way out, but
No, he's on his way out all right.
yeah, he's on his way out, but I think he can figure out how to get 2 games out of Boston. I mean,
And I can see it too.
yeah.
He is that good. He is that talented. The BS is distracting people. He is that good. So yeah, he can get 2, but he's out of there. It's over. You don't leak that kind of stuff before a playoff run about your superstar player. That doesn't make any sense. Atlanta's leaking that stuff. That's very odd. So I think his time there is over. And I think he knows that. I think he welcomes that. The real question is where he goes.
Brooklyn.
No. I mean, Cam Thomas and some scraps. Cam Thomas and Dinwiddie, Dinshitty. I gotta stop saying that. I really do love Dinwiddie. I love that guy for real. That's my
nickname. I think that one's gonna stick.
No, I don't want that to stick. Dinwiddie's my guy. I want that to be. If we can get him on the podcast, I don't put me saying Dinshitty up on there because I really rock with Dinwiddie. That's my guy for real. That's a net.
I'm gonna blur out my screen and put a mask on and call him that.
I rock with Dinwiddie.
Hey, it might be something where a 3-team trade where Jalen ends up in Atlanta and Trey ends up wherever the 3rd team is in the mix.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I don't see them going to Boston, but Jaylen Brown is definitely linked to Atlanta. You get your star right there, replace Trey Young, and Trey gets sent somewhere with a 3rd team.
That would take a dramatic turn of events, though. I mean, he would have to. Jalen would have to tell the Celtics he doesn't want to be there anymore for them to do that.
So I think that's coming. I think that's coming.
Have to be coming. Like,
I think that's around the corner. He's keeping quiet. Like when they gave him a standing ovation, he was like, "Yeah, how did it feel to get a standing ovation?" Joker just was like, "Yo, I'm just out here doing my job."
That's crazy. By the way, I totally understand Jalen. F Boston, F it. So get up out of there. So I totally understand.
Probably the most exciting first round series that we have this year. Knicks Cavs, 6:00 Saturday night, the 3rd game of the playoffs. How do we see this one turning out? Who's the best player in this series? And what's the X factor, the matchup we looking at?
I think the Brunson versus Donovan Mitchell matchup is the biggest matchup in the whole series. I think, with Randall most likely not playing game 1 because he hasn't taken contact in practice at all yet. So if we could take 1 of 2 in Cleveland, all right, That'll give him more time to rest. Like if we won game 1 and gave him like another week to sit out to rest that ankle, then it looked better. But I'm still rocking with my guys. We're deep this year. I'm still rocking with my guys. So I'm saying Knicks in 7. I think this is one of those series that does go 7. And in Cleveland, what did KG say? I know it's a different city, but he said anything is possible. So I think Jalen Brunson is the best player in the series. I think he goes for 30 plus average. I think the X factor though of the series is RJ. Like if he can actually come out and hit jump shots, because their rim protection is the biggest part of their defense. Like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, 2 great defenders, but they're not exactly gonna come out to the 3-point line and defend you. So if you can get them to respect your jump shot and hit threes and hit open jumpers, that opens things up. And I'd like to see this first couple games with Obi being able to get out and run, and that's something I think can add a extra challenge to this Cleveland team. Like, I don't think they're built to get up and down. They're one of the slower teams in the NBA.
I'm gonna answer the question because Miles didn't.
What was the question?
He said, "Who the best player in the series?" You said Jalen versus Donovan Mitchell. Who the best player in the series?
He did. He
I
said
said Jalen Brunson's going to be the best player in the series.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, the best
I
player.
don't like spiders. I don't like spiders.
Yeah, you might when he comes to the Knicks one day. That still could happen. It's still on the cards. It's Donovan Mitchell, bro. I love Jalen Brunson. It's Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's the best player in the series, bro. He is, and he has a track record of big performances in the playoffs too. And the no Julius Randle thing is a big deal. It matters as well. My gut feeling is it's a 7-game series too. I think it would. I have respect for the Knicks. I have respect for the Knicks and how good they are. I do. I'm not. Don't treat me like Stephen A. Smith. When I say that, I really mean it. I'm not Stephen A. I'm not faking like I'm a Knicks fan. And
he's not a Knicks fan.
He's really not. But he's not happy about anything they do. Period. Yeah, I think that that this series is Cavs in 7. I think Donovan Mitchell dominates this series. I think it's going to be tough to stop him. I really believe that. I think Jalen Brunson is going to go toe-to-toe with him, though. I think Jalen Brunson is going to show the world on a much bigger stage playing in New York than playing in Dallas last year that he's that guy. Like, he's going to have great games. They're going to go back and forth, game after game. I think it's going to be that. That's the battle right there. I think if RJ can make shots, that is an X factor for them. I do think that's their X factor. I totally agree. If he can make shots, I have a newfound level of respect for RJ Barrett, because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to do it. That's just me. But he didn't do it in the regular season. He's going to do it when it's heavy out there. He's going to do it when it's pressure. I don't know, bro. But
what did Ali say? He said we shocked the world. Shocked the world.
I do think that Grimes and IQ and them, that's a big. Those guys are going to help. And Toppin has been. I like Toppin a lot. I love Toppin's minutes. So I do think that he's going to have an impact in the series. This is a series the Knicks can win. I think it's a coin flip. I really believe that. Where the series can get won or lost is with Donovan Mitchell's performances, and then also down low with Jared Allen versus Mitchell Robinson. Mitch Robinson can't be down there getting thrown around by Evan Mobley and what's it called, the Twin Towers over there, and Jared Allen. So if that's happening, good luck. But it's a tough series to predict. I'm gonna pick the Cavs. I think they're the best player in the series, but I'm picking them in 7, so anything can happen. Also, I'm also admittedly excited to see the Garden and the environment in the Garden at Game 3. I think it's going to be nuts. So I'm excited to see that too.
I got Knicks in 7.
Oh,
last game of Saturday.
You got cater to the Knicks fan. That's crazy.
Ain't nobody catering to the Knicks.
You got cater to the Knicks fans on the page, bro. It's crazy.
You know what? I got Philly in 4. That's what I'm.
See, look what he said. Yo.
The last game on Saturday night, GSW, Golden State at Sacramento. What's the X factor And who's the X factor in the series? The matchup we watching and our predictions. We already know the best player in the series, obviously, is Steph.
De'Aaron Fox probably. I mean,
Uh,
I think De'Aaron
Oh,
Fox
okay.
would be the X factor in this series. Honestly,
Okay,
I know Sabonis is gonna come and do his thing.
that's what I was gonna say.
You gonna say him?
That's the a bonus guy. I don't think the Warriors have no hit. Their track history throughout their entire dynasty has been that they can't guard bigs who can play a little bit. They can't. AD has the real with them. And I think Sabonis is extremely talented, and I don't know. They don't have an answer for him. Looney is not the answer. Draymond's gonna probably have to guard him, and Draymond's talented and he can do the job. He's a great defensive player, but Sabonis, man, that guy is tough to deal with. He is, and he has playoff experience too with those Pacers teams. So he's the guy I think is the X factor for them. But De'Aaron Fox is incredible, and we both know Steph ain't guarding him. Both know that. If Dante DiVincenzo gonna guard him, good luck. Good luck. De'Aaron's gonna be on something. I'm excited about that series too.
Also, how does Andrew Wiggins come back after playing no games in the last 3 months? And
Let me tell you
they said
something.
he's gonna play like 20 to 25 minutes right off the bench.
I don't like Andrew Wiggins when he's fully immersed in your team and he's playing a bunch of games. I don't like him when he's warm. I don't like him when he's playing.
We should have been Finals MVP last year.
See, I don't like that guy regardless. I think he's the same player he was in Minnesota. He just went to a better situation. He's the same guy. All right, I'm serious.
You're really gonna overlook everything that happened last year? How effective he was with this team?
He was effective. Yeah, I mean, I would be effective too playing with Clay and Steph. I'm just saying I wouldn't be effective, but I just think there are a lot of guys that would be. I'm being honest, man. So I look, he's an X factor. Is he gonna come back and lock up De'Aaron Fox? Like, you're gonna put him on De'Aaron probably. I'm sure they're gonna try to. Good luck with that. You ain't played ball in like 4 months, and God bless him. His situation's better, but I have serious reservations about that. I still pick the Warriors in this series. I picked the Warriors in this series because they get the experience edge. I don't think the Kings don't play a lick of defense. I think that's what it comes down to, which is interesting for a Mike Brown team. That's ironic they don't play defense. But Kevin Huerter's out there, and I just don't think he can guard anybody. Seriously, I don't. And I just think they need Malik Monk, right? They rely on him a lot. He's not going to play no D. So I just have questions. It'll be a fun series, but I think Warriors in 6. I'll say Warriors in 6. I think the edge is just in the but boy, and also I'll say this: it would be fun if the Warriors lost that series, because to lose the amount of road games they lost, to be worse on the road than just about everybody else all year, it makes sense they lose this series. Like, it does make sense. They should. They almost don't deserve to win the series. They've been that bad all year. They haven't, So it's one of those things that's I'll be watching this one very closely to see if they can pull out some road games, because they're gonna be lighting that beam up a lot. I feel like over there, putting that beam on Aisha. The beam Aisha.
Styles, what's your prediction? I'm with Greg. 4-2 Golden State.
This guy crazy. I like that too. I like Warriors in 6.
Hey, the thing with this series, you mentioned Sabonis. They have a chance to win if Sabonis is actually more aggressive to try to score. This is not, to Greg's point, they struggle with bigs that can get busy down there, that actually are productive. Nikola Jokic, they struggle with. Embiid, they struggle with. DeMontis going to have to go for like not 20, 25. He's going to have to go 30, 35 for them to have a chance to win the series.
Win the glass. Win the game. You win the glass, you win the game. That's what I say. If they can control the rebounding edge, and especially offensive rebounds, they can win this series, bro. This could easily be a 7-game series. The way the Warriors have played this year, they have not convinced anybody. I mean, seriously, you're just giving the benefit of the doubt because they're the Warriors. They got sweat equity with people, but this is a series they can easily lose. I'm locked into this one. What's it, 8:00 on Saturday? Of course, they gave me games of Hoop Heaven to this weekend at 6 and 7, or 7 and 8.
You got a phone? Use it.
While I'm coaching?
Yeah. Just keep it in your pocket. Keep a headphone in.
I deadass might do that though. I might do that. I'm not even playing.
8:30 Saturday. Before we go to the next matchup, which is the Sunday games, do we think, let's say the Kings push them to 6, they even get it to 7.
Yeah.
Who has the brighter future in regards of who we might think is next championship contention, next best team? Kings or the Grizzlies?
Well, Ja might be in jail in like a year. So if you think about it that way, I'll probably say the Kings, I guess. Ja may be doing prison time. He's countersuing like a 17-year-old. He's countersuing a 17-year-old for slander, basically. That's ridiculous. I bet he did
out on the Supermax. That's why.
Bruh. Based when you held the gun in the club, you put it at risk anyways. That's your own damn fault. Don't blame the 17-year-old for that. That's not his fault for telling the cops what might have happened. I don't understand that logic, bro. I don't understand it. Make that make sense. T. Morant must be his advisor because he does a lot of dumb stuff off the court. That team is so immature. I'm sure we're going to talk about them. They're just immature altogether. They have an immature energy about them. But I mean,
I think they got the brighter future, honestly.
The Grizzlies do. I mean, if you're being serious and not joking like I am, I think there's a case for that. The Kings are the Kings. They haven't, they're the Kings. So yeah, the Grizzlies most likely if Ja can stay out of jail. That's the caveat.
I mean, they draft well. Look at the way they drafted. They drafted. And then who's this kid, Kenny Lofton, that they got late?
I called it at the beginning of the year. Summer league, he was averaging like 20 and 15. This is baby Zebo. Kenny Lofton Jr. He gets up off the floor. Second jump is quick. He's slow, but he knows how to use his body. He gets into the paint. He can finish around the rim. He got different, little bit of handle, a little bit of mid-range. He can do a little bit of everything. Got a little bit of a three-point shot. That, to Miles' point, they draft great. 2-3 years from now, that's going to be their sixth man, their seventh man off the bench. Great drafting. Kenneth Lofton Jr., huge.
They should have been bringing him along a little further this year because, I mean, you lost Brandon Clark so early in the year. You might need that backup big to help out down low in this series. And I know you're not going to throw him out there to the Wolves against AD or whoever else they got, but damn, they could have used him in this series.
Yo, the one game that he was able to play in the NBA, his first game, Joker dropped 46 and 15.
That's impressive. He's nice.
Yeah, he's a retro big. He's undersized, but he knows how to use the strength that he has, and he knows how to score around the rim.
He carries all that weight well.
He knows how to use it well.
That's like him Kung Pao Kenny.
Lakers Memphis Sunday 3:30. What's the key matchup in this series? What's our picks?
I think the key is, you said Memphis Lakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The key is AD versus Jaren Jackson. Honestly. Because like everybody's heard, Jaren Jackson gets in foul trouble. That's his issue. It's always been his issue his whole career. So like he's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need to slow down the Lakers is if you can control and contain AD on that side, which if he's healthy and he's really, locked in, not many guys can really do that. So then that's why AD, get to it. Don't take jumpers right off the bat. Go in his chest and go at him. 2 quick fouls. They don't have Steven Adams to step in.
Tillman and him. Isn't it just Tillman and him? Tillman and that's it, right? There's nobody else. Maybe
him, Kenneth Lofton Jr.
So Lofton has to play?
And no. They'll probably play Aldana first.
Aldama's not a bad, real big. Aldama looks smaller than me. They skinny wise.
Oh, he's really small, but that's what they got.
Shoot, though. I know he can shoot. He's a stretch 5.
That's what they got on the roster. So
yeah. No, I think Miles is right. I saw the numbers, like they foul a lot, and the Lakers draw more fouls than anybody else in the league. Period. So Austin Reeves going to be going at his chest. I think the game plan is going to be to get downhill and go at Jaren Jackson Jr. They're going to pull him out in switches too. I think you're going to see a lot of pick and rolls to get him in switches a lot. And you're going to see Austin Reeves going at him on the perimeter. I think you're going to see LeBron going at him in the perimeter too. They don't have anybody who can really match up with Bron. Obviously, there's no answer for Bron in this series. And in most series in his life, there never has been, in almost all of them. But in this one, especially, like Dillon Brooks is not the answer. I think an X factor for the Lakers is going to be D'Angelo Russell playing well. I think he has to have some good games, knock down some shots. You have to. They need him. He needs to be, or Rui. Someone has to step up. One of these guys, Michael Beasley. Come on now. I mean, you left the strap in Utah. It's still with the Mormons. You need to bring it. You need to bring it with you. It needs to come. It needs to make the trip down to Memphis. So he needs to have his strap with him for real. He needs to pull up with the strap. Be doing that little weird ass celebration he does after he makes shots. But he needs to be on that type time. If they're gonna win a series, they need that from him. So I think I think the Lakers have the edge. I think AD can control the boards. I think that's where they win. I think that's it. If no cute stuff, that's it. I think AD is the biggest reasons why they'll win this series, because he can control the X factor, control the glass against that thin front line with no Adams and no Clark. That's a big loss for them, right? And obviously dealing with Jaws gonna be tough, right? You just throw different bodies at him. Maybe throw double teams at him.
They're gonna play a lot better than they did the other night, though. They can't play like that.
I think they will. Yeah. I think that was just not making shots. That's just not making threes.
If they play like that, if they play how they played in that first half,
well, they're done.
Don't talk to me about no championship, nothing.
Yeah.
Talk to me about nothing. And I kind of predicted it. The Lakers constantly, they like to be on that BS. They like to start off slow. They like to play down to the competition.
That's a Bron thing, low key though. The Bron feel out game is very real. He does that.
This series is going to be some filling out in it for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. See how they're going to attack them, which way is best.
Yeah.
The Jaren Jackson situation, how they going to attack that. And don't think for a second that they're taking them lightly. LeBron don't go down the list of what he went down after the game. Thinking lightly. Especially because they got a little low-key little beef. This is not a series that the Lakers want to lose, especially LeBron. With how crazy they've been talking to LeBron, and he said that the last regular season. He said, y'all better stop. Respect my name. So
I'll say this too: if Bron's jumper is on in this series, like on for real, I think they win it. They could win it in 5. That's how confident. If his jumper's on, they can win in 5. I really think
Dylan Brooks is on him from the jump.
I got Lakers 4-2.
You saw Dylan Brooks looking like a gay Puerto Rican drug dealer the other day.
And Miles, what's your prediction? I got Lakers 4-2.
He's looking like Pootie Tang.
They're like Max B.
A broke Max B.
Like, this series is probably behind the Knicks. Cavs is like the most exciting, just because there's like real. I feel like underneath the surface, there's like some animosity there. Like, I'm sure LeBron doesn't like these young, whats. They have no respect, clearly, because game 1 they're gonna
they're gonna pop out like that.
They're gonna come out like that. I'm like, yo, y'all better leave that in the regular season.
That's funny.
I got Lakers in 7. I'm hoping it's in 7, just because that would be more fun. Game 7s are more fun. So
the less miles on the tire. No pun intended. The less tread on the tire that they can get in this series, the better. I hope they get it done quick, man. Like 6 at most, but 7 would not be great. A great outlook for the next series. You play like 2 days after game 7.
Guess what? It'll be game 6. The game be won, and AD's gonna foul a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to speak on that. That was ridiculous.
You could tell Bron was pissed. He laughed it off. He was like, AD was walking away. He was like,
yeah. Because it's AD. Yeah, bro.
He messed up the game winner.
Yeah, Bron was hot. That's crazy.
Before we transition, right? Do we think Ja Morant could be a number 1 on a championship team?
No. Gut reaction, no. The reason for me is I think his shooting is too inconsistent for me. I think that's the big drop off. I think for anybody who goes to the basket at 6 foot, 180 pounds soaking wet the way he does and takes the punishment he takes, falling to the ground, is someone who's passing up open shots, in my opinion. The paint's packed. You're getting clobbered every time. So the paint's packed. You're passing up open jump shots. You're not efficient on the perimeter. You're not efficient enough, right? So when you're that size, I just have concerns about your durability long term. And we've seen this movie before. Derrick Rose, who was built better than him, right? And still got hurt playing with that same kind of style of play. But Derek was at a good midi at his best. It's not that Ja can't shoot, it's just really streaky. And that's the thing in this series to watch too. If he doesn't strap at the crib, seriously, they can go home in 5. Bane is going to be really good for them. Bane's going to show people how good he is. I worry about him a little bit in this series, but I think Ja's great no matter what. He's a really good player, but the punishment he puts himself through, I don't see him as number 1 on a championship team. I don't think he's an efficient enough shooter for me to put him in that category yet.
Hey, you talking about he need a strap at home? It wasn't his strap.
Oh yeah, right. But then they might actually bring one. They might actually bring one.
You toned deaf for sure tonight.
Well, he gonna bring a strap too. His dad gonna bring a strap for Shannon Sharp. Is that gonna bring one?
Hey, whoever the Bucks end up playing, safe to say we got 4-0 sweep.
4-0 sweep. The Bucks are the best team in the NBA, in my opinion. I have the Bucks are the best. My dream finals is Lakers Celtics, but I think the Bucks are gonna get out. That's just I think the Bucks are the best team in the East by far.
Denver, whoever they play, OKC, T-Wolves. I think OKC.
They could take 2, bro.
They're gonna get a game.
I see. I don't know why I see 2. I just think Shea's gonna be pulling Jokic out in these screen situations and be dancing on him. And they're gonna send doubles, obviously, but they can shoot a little bit too. They're scrappy.
They don't have a center.
Who the OKC?
You saw what happened last night. What's the name was getting abused by?
Was it Williams? It was small ball. Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a center. So who are you gonna put on Jokic? He's gonna get the whole series.
He'll get his. They'll throw doubles, but he's such a good passer. They'll win that series in 5. Okay, you talk me out of it. Talk me. That's fine.
Clippers, Suns. Probably the second most exciting series.
This is number 1 for me. This is number 1. I don't care about no series more than this series. Not even Nets. I care about this series the most because
there's no Paul George though, so it's like
it's setting up beautifully. Yes, you're right. Thank you for that. Because if Kevin Durant loses this series, bro, I'm on his ass. If Kevin Durant lose this series, bro, I'm on his ass. Don't ever talk to me about top 10, Kevin. Never again. We will never discuss it. I don't care if he wins the championship the following year because he got swept round 1 last year with Kyrie on the team. I ain't forget that. He was averaging like 6 turnovers a game. He was a big part of the reason why we lost that series. Everybody wants to make it
good. That was a bad team last year.
Don't do that. You know damn well that's not true. He was pretty. Look, I should have won a game with Kevin Durant and Kyrie. I should have won a game.
They should have won game 1. The series is different if you guys get that game, but of course.
The only reason why game 1 was close because Kyrie went crazy. Bro, Kevin Durant played horrible in that series. I'm watching him, bro. I'm watching him. Whenever it's all on him, he folds. He folds. Like, for real. He's cheap meat out there. For real. He be folding. So I'm really curious to see how this series go. I want to see. I think he'll play well. He's playing with Devin Booker. He's insulated. He's playing with DeAndre Ayton. He's in a great situation. He's insulated, right? He's protected. He's at his best when he has protection. When someone's there to guard him, he's good, right? When someone's there to make sure he don't got to have that much responsibility, he's great. It's easy. When shit is sweet, he's great, right?
So DeAndre Ayton is one of the insulating parts of that team.
Yo, they don't use him enough. I think that's why they're not going to win a championship. I think they'll get because there's no PG. They're likely to get through this series, okay? And the other team starting Westbrook, and I'm sorry, I know Westbrook's been playing better, but you're starting Westbrook in a playoff series. I don't know how serious I can take you. I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. Kawhi is rested though. Kawhi played 20 games all year, so he's rested. He's ready to go. But for me, when I look at this series, I don't think they have the answer for Booker and KD. That's me. But if KD don't play well in this series, bro, I'm really watching this one closely. I'm very interested in this series. I think Russ is gonna have like a big game. I think he will have it. He's good for a big game in this series. He's gonna have one.
I think he gonna tear off Chris Paul's head.
I do think that's gonna be a tough one. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They put Landry Shaman or a campaign.
Russ is Okogie or something.
Russ is going seeing Chris Paul.
Yeah, put Okogie on Russ. That's ridiculous.
I promise you, Chris Paul looking older by the day. He is insulated in a perfect situation. That Joker was praying to every god he knows to get KD there. Because now he ain't Oh, I don't have to be the number 2. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a good life for me.
I do think
He's still
CP gonna
gotta
have a
go.
series
Still
though.
gotta go.
I
CP
think
Gotta go.
CP got to go or who or Russ?
CP gotta go. Well, both of them, but CP has to go.
Both of them.
hey, I got Phoenix winning in 6.
You think 6? I think it goes 7. Is PG gonna come back at some point in the series, bro?
Yeah,
He
he
said
will.
maybe game 3, game 4, maybe. So
I
if
think
they keep it
Kawhi.
2-2,
Bro, okay. So it works both ways, bro. Kawhi pulled us to 7 games at the least. Don't talk to me about. We don't talk about top 10 for Kawhi because no one's stupid. But I can't have a conversation. You know how I feel about Kawhi. I feel like he's been insulated too. He's an insulated guy. All right, and
I think he's definitely getting 2. I just don't
you think
see with Paul George coming back
what
in a
Paul
playoff
George is gonna get?
series. Like, that's tough.
You know, Paul George is allergic to the playoffs too. We know that.
Just like Andrew Wiggins, that's tough for you to come back. Thankfully for him, he
Not the
got help.
Don't do that.
He got more help, but
It's not the same. It is not.
it is the same. I'm saying in regards of
Quality of players.
you take that much time off, and Paul George is coming off a knee injury that everybody thought the joke was about to be out for another 3 years again.
Paul George is a different quality of player. Though. We're talking about a different type of car.
Of course, but
Andrew
I'm not
Wiggins
trusting.
is an old Ford, old Buick or something. But
I'm not trusting. I think. I don't know. I'm not trusting Paul George coming back in this.
I understand that.
Phoenix, it is some question marks. It could go 7 because they ain't got no bench. They ain't got no bench.
So KD gonna have to be out there by himself at some point. KD gonna be out there with Terrence Ross and Ish Wainwright at some point. And when they doubling you on stuff and they pack in the paint and you have to make decisions because what I say about KD is not a natural passer. He doesn't do a good job passing out double teams. It's the worst part of his game. He does a terrible job at it. I'm telling you, y'all, like he played bad in this series, bro. I'm on his ass. I'm telling you, bro. Don't talk to me about top 10 for Kevin Durant if he cannot take care of business in this series. You shouldn't go 7. You got D-Book. You got CP. CP's still a damn good player. I don't care what no one says. You can't go 7.
Miles, you said you got the Suns in 5?
Yeah, I got Suns in 5.
Damn. Wow, you think I'm gonna wax him like that? I got Suns in 7. Waxing the wax 5. Damn.
I can see it. I can see it happening.
You
Just
think
because that potent 3, I can see it happening.
Yeah, I can see it too. I mean, it's possible. I hope it happened that way. That'd be a lot of hype for a series that just did nothing. Like 5. Damn.
Well, blame Paul George.
Isn't his mom named like Paulette or something, and his name Paul?
Something like, I don't know, something like that.
What the hell's wrong with DeMar DeRozan too? DeMar and DR? Really, DeMar?
Hey, she was the MVP though.
Hey, that was awesome.
Yo, the sidebar, the fact that Scotty Barnes came out and said that might have had a factor. Y'all are NBA grown players that hear screaming every single night. You guys folded point blank, period. Blow up the Raptors. The fact that y'all coming out and really are blaming DeMar DeRozan's daughter, blow that whole team up. Nick Nurse leave, please. I don't want Toronto. To Pat Bev's point, I knew them jokers suck. I was he used some other words, and it's funny from him going what 4 points.
Yeah, what did he do?
DeMar said it best. DeMar said Pat Bev is always on brand. Always on brand.
Yeah, that ass, bro. That guy is crazy.
NBA awards, MVP. I got Embiid. Who y'all got? Embiid across the board.
Embiid across the board. Embiid. No way Jokic can win it. He don't guard nobody. I don't care about advanced stats. Advanced stats is if you're using advanced stats, I'm gonna have to assume you might be racist. You want the white man to win.
For the other votes for me, I'm going Embiid first, Giannis second. I'm gonna throw Jokic third.
Yeah, I was saying Giannis is a better case than thank you. Giannis is a better case than Jokic. There's that too. Giannis should probably win the MVP. He should probably win it again.
I got Shea getting some fourth place votes, and then Tatum. So that's how I round out my 5 for MVP. I think this is another one that we go agree on. I'm trying to start off with the easy picks. Rookie of the year. Hello.
Paolo's not gonna get unanimous, by the way. Some idiot from Salt Lake City voted for Walker Kessler. That's racist, by the way.
Because if you're not gonna take Paolo, you got to take Jalen Williams. Like,
what are you even doing? Walker Kessler.
Like, I'll give him credit. He had a really good rookie season. Like,
Walker Kessler. That's
He's
the
better than Rudy.
history. The worst trade in history. Walker Kessler right now is better than Rudy Gobert.
Crazy.
Clutch player of the year. That's another easy one. De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron has the most points in clutch moments. So, I mean, by literal definition, he was the clutchest player in the NBA.
I think he had 194. The closest person was DeRozan with 158.
And we know
DeRozan doesn't award now.
Yeah, it's an award now.
Apparently, it's an award. No, they're give him like a Gatorade bottle or something as a trophy. I don't know.
I think this would have been interesting if they had this award during Kobe's time. If they would have gave it, because they're basing it off of obviously clutch points.
Yeah.
But when we look at some of those years, LeBron actually was more clutch because of the right plays made. So I think that would have been really interesting back then because you're basing it off a point, but it's so much more that makes a player clutch. So I would have been very intrigued to see during that time, like clutch player.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's flawed. It's very flawed. No one's gonna care because De'Aaron's winning it, so no one cares that it's flawed, but it is flawed.
Coach of the year, Mike Brown.
Easy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a debate. You could give it to the guy in OKC too. You can have a conversation.
Mark Diagno.
Yeah, you can have a conversation, but that's it. There's nobody else.
And I put for third, I put Jacques Vaughn up there to get some votes.
He deserves some love, man. He deserves some love.
Exec of the year, Kobe Altman from the Cavs for me.
Yeah, I mean, exec of the year. I mean, yeah, I'd say I think I'll go with that. I think I'd go with that. I don't think anybody else really has a compelling case. You know, I don't think the Kings GM the moves happen. Like, I don't know. Sabonis was the thing that happened the year before. All these Herder, and they hired a coach that got the job done, right? And Malik Monk was another addition. So I don't know. I mean, I guess he could have a stake in it, but I'd give it to Kobe Altman. The biggest movie made, changed their season.
Defensive player of the year.
So Jaren Jackson choosing to win this one. You know who I think?
I like Brooke.
You like Brooke? I like Nick Claxton. I think Nick Claxton deserves a great defense. I think he deserves Defensive Player of the Year. He was the best. He was the most efficient defender in ISO situations as a big, anyways. And he was getting so many blocks. I mean, he was such an elite rim defender. And then to be an elite perimeter defender as well at his size, guarding guards, dude. Nick Claxton's my guy. I don't think there's a better defender at that position in the NBA than him right now. The award may go to someone else, but I think he's the best defender at that center position, and I think he was the best defender in the league this year. I really believe that.
He was below par for me.
Huh?
He was below average for me.
You're bugging out. Get up.
I'm going with Miles. I got Brook Lopez, but you'll see on my all defensive team where I got Nick Claxton. He's definitely in that conversation. For those that didn't know, even to your stat, one of the other stats with Nick Claxton, he was fifth in all of the league in defensive win shares.
Come on, bro.
Fifth.
Just crazy.
So just put that out there.
He's elite.
Sixth man of the year. I'm going with IQ.
IQ. Yeah, I don't see the debate. I saw the voting. First of all, Bill Simmons shouldn't be allowed to vote on this. He's clearly going to pick the Celtics. He's a Celtics fan. I don't understand that. It's ridiculous. But IQ for me is easily the best player in the NBA coming off the bench. Like, the best player coming off the bench in the NBA is IQ. So I'm going IQ.
The funniest argument is, like, everybody keeps saying he started like 15, 20 games. So
what does that mean? Like,
and then they're saying Brogdon he came off the bench for every single game he played. And I'm like, okay, six man is basically a six starter. That's what it is. So, like, Brunson missed a bunch of games. So who else is going to start? You're going to put Deuce McBride ahead of him? No, you're going to put him. So
that's a stupid argument.
Yeah,
I think the other thing I want to put out this stat, because of course everybody talks about six man, they talk about scoring, which I think that's flawed too, because six man should be encompassing of what everything is brought to the game as a
Right.
six man, but every year is always whoever scored the most points. This year is, I guess you could say, is better because the person that led in scoring a six man was Benedict Mathurin, but obviously nobody was going to put him as six man. The Knicks are 12 points per 100 possessions better on defense with Quickly on the court. He has the best rating of any rotation player in the NBA off the bench. The best rating of any rotation player per 100 possessions on the defensive side, which I don't think that's talked about enough with IQ. I saw on some people he was on some people's defensive team. So IQ,
I love IQ.
More than scoring.
He's about to get the bag.
I love it. And shout out to our boy D Lamb who trains him, by the way. Shout out to D Lamb training. He trained IQ. So shout out to him. That's my guy.
All rookie first team. I'm going Jalen Williams, Jayton Ivey, Paolo, Keegan Murray, Walker Kessler.
No disagreement.
Yeah, same.
All defensive first team. I'll start it off. I got Drew Holiday, Alex Caruso, Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, and Brook Lopez.
Hurts me. I can't agree with it totally because I had Nick as my defensive player of the year. So I mean, who am I taking out?
You can probably take out Evan Mobley.
I'm taking out Jaren Jackson. He fouls more than anybody else in the league. Nick Claxton will lock you up without fouling you. Like, I'm gonna take him out. I think that DPOY is gonna look real weird in the light when he plays Lakers starting on Sunday. Yeah, the Lakers gonna make him look real weird.
We've seen it before. Good old Rudy getting DPOY and getting waxed in the play.
Good luck.
Waxed.
He's no Nick Claxton. That's the way I see it.
My all defensive second team: Derek White, OG Anunoby, Bam, Giannis, and I got Nick Claxton on my second team.
Okay. I mean, I respect it.
You switch out. I got Evan Mobley up there because he was first in defensive win shares.
He was silently like a great defender all year. I did see that. Notice how I didn't take him out.
High key, I think a little bit better defender than Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Encompassing, right?
Yeah.
All right, I think this is where we might veer off differently. The all NBA teams. My first team and how I viewed it, 55 games was the threshold for me. How many games they had to play was 55.
Yeah.
And I know Miles laughing, but if you look at all the stars, that's about average. Of you see Dame, Steph, they all played pretty much around that range. My first team, I got Shea, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid.
Shea, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Embiid. Who was the other person?
Giannis.
I can't argue with it.
Miles, who's on your first team?
This is one thing.
I think the only one I'd swap is Luka for Donovan Mitchell.
Well, I don't know. Luka looking funny in the light. Them boys got. I mean, do you hold up? I mean, I don't know. Is it only based on numbers? Or team success matters. I don't know.
I factor in team success, and I look at Luka. The reason why he's not on my first team is because he has no desire, no effort, and no thought to play defense.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
He's on my second team. He's on my second team, but I can't put him on my first team. You literally I don't decide not to play defense.
I don't think things get interesting until you get the second team. That's the way I see it. I think the first team is pretty cut and dry.
My second team, Luka, De'Aaron Fox, Lauri Markkanen, Jaylen Brown, Nikola Jokic.
This is positionless now, right?
No, next season is
next year.
So it's guard, forward, center.
Lauri Markkanen over Bron.
Well, Bron doesn't qualify. He didn't play enough games.
Oh yeah, how many did he play?
He qualifies under me. 55. He played 55 games.
No. I think he's gonna make. He can't make an All NBA team because he didn't play enough games in actuality in real life. I thought he could.
I think he can this year.
I think
Next year he
make
wouldn't be.
All-NBA. Oh, next year he wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I think this year will be All-NBA. I mean, even if it's third team. But Laurie marking over LeBron, I mean, that don't feel right. I don't know how that made me feel. And also, I thought Jalen Brunson would get some love, but I in this, and I think you'll probably get to him in the third team. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But Jalen Brunson's All-NBA to me. That's the way I feel about it. I heard people saying Julius Randle was All-NBA, which I think was just maybe because we live in the New York area and people are stupid. I don't know. He played well. All-NBA.
Stupid.
I don't know.
What we doing now? Stupid is what we're using.
All-NBA.
He's having a better year than he did 2 years ago when he was second team All-NBA.
All right. Well, I mean, so Jalen, they have two All-NBA guys. I know for a fact that Jalen Brunson's All-NBA.
No, I just say because the guards are just too top heavy.
Yeah, I
got Dame and Donovan Mitchell on my second team. And then third team, I had De'Aaron Fox and Steph Curry.
My third team, I got Steph and Dame.
I can't put Steph in there over Jalen Brunson, bro. Steph is not All-NBA over Jalen Brunson, in my opinion. I can't do it. They didn't win. They didn't win a road game all year, and I'm giving to it. Come on, man. The guy went to the Knicks and changed the culture. And
it hurts me to do this, but
I can't do it, bro. I'm not doing it. This can be an argument as a clip or whatever. Jalen Brunson got to be in the an All-NBA player. He's All-NBA. He's got to make one of the teams, and I would put him in over Steph.
I mean, this wouldn't be the first time he was slighted. They didn't pick him to be an all-star or an
all-star. Bro. Like,
I'm not gonna get
my spirit. And then on top of it, you're gonna tell me that Julius Randle is All-NBA, but Jalen Brunson isn't. I don't want to live in a world where that's the case, bro.
I guess I'm Miles. I guess I'm a part of the stupid people. I got Julius Randle on my All-NBA third team.
Right, he's an All-NBA guy. I also had Sabonis.
It's not stupid.
I got Julius Randle, LeBron, and Sabonis rounding out my All-NBA third team.
That's fine, honestly. I just think the guard spot with Jalen Brunson is the only thing I have to contest. That's the only thing I'm saying. He has to get in there somehow.
Honorable mention though, you got Jimmy Butler, obviously, John Morant, Anthony Davis. He didn't play enough games.
To Clawson, yeah.
And if Kevin
Durant too.
Oh my gosh.
The numbers are crazy. Yeah, the numbers are crazy.
55, 40, and 92% from the free throw line.
He would have been first team if he had enough games, honestly.
Yeah, he would have been.
First team, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. KD's I think too this year in the playoffs, for them to go deep, we're gonna have to see the greatest version of KD. Like, he's gonna remind people like how freaking good he is. Like, because he's gonna have to. They have no bench. KD's gonna have to literally every single night, probably gonna have to play 35 to 40 minutes a game, going crazy. We ending off the show. OBJ to the Ravens. What does this mean? Is Lamar coming? I mean, OBJ came out and said, which I think tells us that he went for the money, that he said he just wanted to come with the opportunity to possibly play with Lamar. He doesn't know if Lamar's coming back or not. So he went for the bag, because I'm not signing to go get catches from Tyler Huntley or Carson Wentz.
But like, you see all the incentives that he has in his contract, like the $1 million if he leads the team in catches, yards, touchdowns. Yeah, it was for the money. Like, he's the guy over there now. And regardless of who's throwing him passes, he's going to get his. He's selfishly going after his, because he had to sit out a whole year and lost a year of his career. So he's going to try to show out. And it would be better if Lamar was there and they could ball out together. But, like, he's already signed the contract. Like, if Lamar's here, great. If he's not, I still got to do what I got to do to make mine for my family. So I wish he didn't sign in Baltimore. It's a weird situation that he's going into with very clouded situation at quarterback, but we'll see. Maybe he balls out and parlays this into a long-term deal in Baltimore or somewhere else.
I think he's going to get that $18 million regardless, because it's the stipulations within that, right? The clauses. If he leads each touchdowns, receptions, but it's also is like even if he doesn't hit a certain number, if he's leading in those categories for the team, period. So I think he's going to lead those categories regardless. Maybe he don't lead in touchdowns. Maybe Mark Andrews decides to catch the ball more this season and doesn't drop it, and he gets more touchdowns. But outside of that, I think he's going to get at least another mil out of that. The only thing is, like I said, Mark Andrews, he might, if you got Huntley, them suspect quarterbacks love they tight end.
I'm just confused by why he chose Baltimore though. Like, I get it because they offered him the most money and they were
Lamar's
desperate.
gonna come back. I thought it was obvious. Lamar's not going anywhere. Like he over here posting him FaceTiming Odell. You over here FaceTiming him. You over here FaceTiming. FaceTime. You over here posting the fact that he's FaceTiming Odell on his story, and he's supposed to. Is that not a dead giveaway that this guy has something to do with the guy coming? Also, Odell's funny, right? He went on this rant about how he's an underdog, and all this stuff, and he also went on a rant about how he wanted to go somewhere where he felt like he was needed, not at a place where they just like to have him. And it's just funny how it always works out that the place you're needed at is the place that gives you the most money every time, because ain't nobody else gonna give you $15 million. Ain't nobody else about to do that for a year. No one else was doing that, bro. Okay, the Ravens made a desperate move. That was a move for Lamar. That was not about you, Odell. If they had it their way, I don't think they would have gave you the money. There were other avenues they would have gone down. They would not have done that, but they did it to appease Lamar Jackson.
He was coming to New York the next day too. They knew
he was going to be in New York.
Signed.
Him to the Jets is a done deal. It was going to happen. It was going to happen because no one else was going to. Really, in large part, because no one else was going to give him what he wanted.
And he went back to the Jets to get them to match it. He was going to come if they matched the deal, but that's too rich for them. They're not.
Why would the Jets do
$15 million? Yeah, we're already paying Corey Davis $11 million, Alan Lazard 12. So it's like that's not going to happen, bro.
Yeah, if it was the Jets, it would have been $4 million guaranteed with 11 stipulations.
I think I saw something where the Giants would have offered him a deal where it was like $6 million.
From all reports, Adam Schefter and all the people that are way more plugged in, they said it was between every NFL team said it was like 4 to 6 they would pay. This is Baltimore.
Okay, so yeah.
Nobody was going to pay that. It was just Baltimore.
$15 million.
Trying to keep their black boy happy.
That's for Lamar. Yeah, black boy joy.
That's literally all it is. Let's get the name in there who really might not even be a wide receiver one, but the name that should get you all excited and hot. So,
I mean, hopefully he's running it back next year with the Ravens.
Right. That's the real question. Let's say he has a good year. Where does he go from there?
Facts. Saquon said, "I ain't coming to camp. Give me my money."
I don't even know. I just think there's no discussion here, to be honest, bro. There's no running back market. If he get free agency right now, who's going to pay him? I mean, that's a real question. I mean, the way running backs are going right now, no one traded for Austin Eckler. All you'd have to trade is like a fourth or a fifth to get him. And he's a damn good player. And then from there, you get to be willing to pay him. But no one wants to pay him, so no one's trading for him. I don't really understand. And Austin Eckler is also more productive than Saquon Barkley is. There are more productive backs than Saquon Barkley. So I don't see what the conversation is here. I understand him being upset, and he has the right to exercise this. You don't have to sign the franchise tag. I get that, but the Giants got a whole firm. I'm not a fan of them trying to give him a long-term deal at this point because that's what the market says. And in this draft, if you're paying attention, a lot of good running backs in this draft. I'm not saying you're going to try to replace Saquon, but you just got to have the next person in line to take over for him in case things go left. I think they'll take care of that.
Hey, Texas got 2 running backs outside of Bijan Robinson. They got his backup. Got his name, but his backup, that's going to be a steal, whoever get him too.
And by the way, I'm not even referring to the Bijan Robinsons and the Jamar Gibbs of the world. Like those guys, they're of the Saquon Barkley class in the sense that they're going to go early and Bijan may not even go first round, but he's so good. I think he will go first round.
If I'm a team,
no one's taking him first round.
Bijan, I'm taking Bijan. Just like
I
heard, there's the conversation where you take a running back in the first round. I think that's such a overstated conversation. Top 5? No. Top 10? Probably not. But in the first round period, if you got Bijan Robinson on the board, Marshall Faulk, those type of players, I'm taking them first round. What?
That's the thing, though. With the first round contracts, you get that 5th-year option. That's why you do it. That's why you take a running back in the first round, because
they're also paid better than any other running back you get that's out there, right? You get paid like 20 mil or something crazy. So yeah, there's that too.
Cap of facts. End off the show. The Rays will break the record for most consecutive wins at the start of the season. It started off 13-0.
Oh man.
I think they lose tomorrow against
to
the Blue Jays.
So you think they lose? They lose tomorrow to the Blue Jays.
I mean, you can lose today.
I mean, look at who they've been playing. They played like the Tigers, the Lions, the Bears. They're playing all these bums.
The Lions.
They're playing all these bums to start the year. Of course, they should be undefeated. They haven't played
Don't
anybody
do that.
worth a damn. So
y'all ain't played them yet?
We haven't played them yet. We've only been playing good teams. So that's what happens when you play good teams.
I definitely played the Orioles the other day.
Yeah, the Orioles are a good team.
They're solid.
They're solid this year. So, yeah, the Rays, it's a good story. But when you play the Tigers, you play the Angels probably, you're not expected to lose many of those games. Like, they're good enough. They should beat all those teams. So, they're not going to finish with the best record ever. But it's a cool start. And they're not going to break that longest winning streak either. I'm telling you, tomorrow's it.
Okay. I'll bow to expertise. Even more locked than I am. Tell you that. You know, baseball early in the year, it's tough.
I'm sorry, Kevin Durant's hairline is bad in this picture for the team photo.
There's no picture where it's good.
It's worse when he lets it grow out, and it's just like it looks like if you pull up a map of the world and you got like the countries and the ocean, like those patches is the ochon.
Nigga said his hairline. He said his hairline looks like.
Hey.
He said his hairline looks like the Himalayan mountains.
Chris Paul gotta let that junk go. You can see the center ring ball spot with a fresh cut.
For a black man, you should not be doing that. Cut it off.
What team has the best chance? We end off with this for our hockey supporters, our hockey fans. Who got the best chance to stop the Bruins in the playoffs with the record-breaking most wins in the regular season? Who has a chance to stop them?
I'm gonna go with the Rangers, just because
I was gonna say the Rangers too. I was gonna say
just biased. I think the Rangers get it done. Because I think this is the first time since '94 when they won that all the teams around here have made the playoffs at the same time. So if that's not a sign,
the Islanders just snuck in too, right? They snuck in.
Yeah, they snuck in. But we're up there, so
I think the Rangers can beat them. I'm hopeful. You'll see a lot of Brian Daboll there. That's a good luck charm. You know, when he's there, they don't lose. So you know how that go.
Yeah, the Buddha of the New York metropolitan area.
Well, Brian Daboll?
Yo, I know the vibes. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Bench Mob Ent. We out. Peace.